Welcome to the Louie Bellina Show. It is Tuesday. The Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. This is how we're going to do between right now and 2 o'clock. Here in our first hour together, it's a whole lot of buckyball. 11:20-ish, Logan Lee, former player, basketball, Texas A&M, former coach, Texas A&M and Kentucky, will join me inside the Charles Schwab studio. We'll talk about the loss to Texas, the 2 games remaining, what needs to be done to make the NCAA tournament. I will share with you this morning, updated Joe Lunardi bracketology. Buckyball is down to 11. Down to 11. Last week, they lived life on the bubble at the 10 seed. Now, they start this week on the 11 line. They're the last team on the last 4 byes. There's still a row of last 4 in. Let's not dance with the devil. Logan Lee, 11:20, joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. Lunchtime on the Louie Bellina Show, noon till 1, is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. Lunchtime, we're going to have some fun. College football notebook. I have the signs that our off-season has truly begun. There's a ritual of things, coaches on the hot seat, bowl predictions in the spring, and more. As I was searching today, I started seeing those signs. So college football notebook plus at 12:35, back to Buckyball. Yesterday, A&M basketball head coach Bucky McMillan had a media day, and he had a lot, and I mean a lot to say. We will listen in at 12:35. Buckyball, Bucky McMillan, the head coach himself. Get you ready for Kentucky tonight. 2 games left in the regular season. Aggie Basketball needs 2 wins for the NCAA tournament, according to Joe Lunardi. In our final hour, I always love Tuesdays, 1 o'clock, Olin Buchanan of the TexAgs universe will join me inside the Charles Schwab studio. And we talk about everything. Yeah, whole lot of Maroon and White going on. We have opinions, and neither Olin or I mind to share them. So Olin Buchanan, TexAgs, 1 o'clock inside the Charles Schwab studio. Then at 1:50 every Tuesday, it's the Community Spotlight. And that, I visit with a nonprofit. First Tuesday of each month, and this is the first Tuesday of March, Twin City Mission. We got to talk about the Twin City Golf Classic coming up at the end of the month. This is like the 99th annual. Okay, I exaggerated, but man, it's been a while, and the Twin City Golf Classic's awesome. Ron Crozier will join me, 1:50. Next Tuesday, Aggieland Humane Society. 2 Tuesdays from now will be United Way of the Brazos Valley. And then the 4th Tuesday of each month on the Community Spotlight, the Brazos Valley Food Bank. I enjoy the visiting with the various nonprofits that hang out with me. Their mission, what they need. And then for people that might need help, they hear the message. For people that want to help, they hear something that connects to them, volunteer, donate, and more. Community Spotlight every Tuesday at 1:50. There's more, so listen in. I have decided that I'm in a good mood, a rare thing. So we're going to have multiple, not 1, not 3, but 2 chances for you to get registered, get you on that final list, give you a chance to win tickets to go see Creed at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, thanks to Grachalski Sausage Company. Every day this week, at least 1. Today's going to be 2. Listen in. Thank you to Grachalski Sausage Company. 2 locations. They used to be 1 for a while, but they're like, we got more we want to do. You can find Grachalski Sausage Company at South Main Street, Bremont, and South Main Street in Calvert. We will begin our day, kind of a programming service announcement. This upcoming weekend, Aggie softball was going to play in a tournament in San Marcos. I don't know what they're, the Bobcat Classic, the Bobcats Are Us, Bobcats Go Wild. I don't know the name of the tournament. Well, this weekend, Rain is a storyline. There's going to be rain in San Marcos. There's going to be rain in Bryan College Station. I'm warning you now. Aggie Baseball is going to have changes to the Oakland series. I would be stunned if they played all 3 games as scheduled. The Texas State softball tournament has already adjusted. Aggie softball will now play Friday at 11 a.m., Friday at 4 p.m. That's it. They're not even trying to play Saturday, Sunday in this tournament. Aggie softball has went from, a normal tournament schedule, like 5 games, 3 days, 5 games, 4 days. Aggie softball will travel to San Marcos on Friday. They will play Friday at 11, Tarleton State. And then at 4 o'clock, play the host, San Marcos. The Texas State, the Bobcats. Wait, the Bobcats go, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. So adjust your schedules accordingly. And that's it. That's their final tune-ups. Because the weekend after, Saturday through Monday, down in Baton Rouge, SEC play begins. So, softball programming service announcement. Basically, that whole tournament's been canceled, but they'll play Friday. Oh, okay, the official title, San Marcos Showdown. Whew, sounds like they're about to throw down. Friday at 11, Tarleton State. Friday at 4, Texas State. And they're done for the weekend, and they're done till SEC play begins. And I'm telling you, we got rain here this weekend. Some part of the Aggie Baseball weekend will be shuffled, whether there'll be a doubleheader day or they're going to start, early or something. By the way, softball, D1 baseball poll, number 18. Number 18 in the country. Maroon and White notebook, that's where we're rolling. Tonight, 6 o'clock, Reed Arena, A&M versus Kentucky. Logan Lee and I are going to jump a lot more into buckyball in probably about 13 minutes. 2 games left today at Baton Rouge, at LSU on Saturday. Aggies need 2 wins for an NCAA tournament bid, according to Lenardi. They'll start the week an 11 seed in the latest updated, as of this morning, bracketology. Now, the 2 wins, is that these 2 games or 1 game here, one NCAA tournament? The greatest advantage, the greatest thing Aggie Hoops going for it right now is that the bubble itself stinks to high heaven. Like I said, Saturday, I think it was like 5 of the 8 or 6 of the 8 bubble teams lost. That included A&M. Here's the bubble. Last 4 buys, last 4 in. That's what I look at. But really, the bubble includes first 4 out and next 4 out. That's your whole bubble. But last 4 buys in order: SMU, TCU, UCLA, Texas A&M. The whole state of Texas is on the last 4 buys. SMU, TCU, UCLA is not in Texas, and Texas A&M. Now, here's your last 4 in. This is the everyday you wake up and you need a drink line. Last 4 in: Santa Clara, Ohio State, New Mexico, and officially the last team in, Indiana. Now, here's the wrong side of the bubble. First 4 out. So the first team out is Auburn, San Diego State, VCU, Vatech, and next 4 out, and that's the dark side of the bubble. There's the dark side of the moon. This is the dark side of the bubble. USC, Cal, West Virginia, and Cincinnati. The number 1 overall seed of them all is Duke, who last night officially clinched the ACC title. Indiana, last team in. Auburn, first team out. There you go. We'll talk a lot more buckyball with Logan Lee inside the Charles Schwab studio quite shortly now. Aggie Baseball in action, not tonight, but rather this afternoon. Didn't want to clash with the Kentucky game. I love the little adjustments. Because normally, the Tuesday midweek at Bluebell Olson, that's 6 o'clock. Today, 4 p.m., they're playing the Word. They're playing the Incarnate Word. And I did not know this, but Incarnate Word has already played a conference series. They're 1-2 in conference play, 7-6 overall. Pretty good at home, 6-2. but Incarnate Word makes their way to Bluebell Olson. Aggies 10-1 to start the year, 22 according to D1 Baseball. For me, health, 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 health. Do you see a Wesley Jordan? Do you see a Chris Harkopian? Health, health, health. This week is the final week before Aggie Baseball starts SEC play. I don't know how they will do without Chris Harkopian. Do you? I know. I don't want to find out. I love the bounce back against Arizona State. Yeah, getting run ruled by UCLA is not a great sign. At full strength, I'd love to see what this team can do. Not at full strength, I'm pretty scared of what this team will do. That's where I'm at with Aggie Baseball at this point in time. SEC baseball, always brutal, violent, not just the grind of it, but outright violence. It is the best elite. They have to be full strength to have a fighting chance, I think. Moving on, Maroon and White notebook, Aggie Football. ESPN.com is going day by day, every conference. And what they're doing is spring storylines since spring football starting across the country. And they did the SEC yesterday. Every team. And they do 3 categories. Spring storyline, position of intrigue, player to watch. Now I'm going to give you I'll give you 60 seconds. What is A&M's spring storyline? What is A&M's position of intrigue? What is A&M's player to watch? Aggie Football. Now, spring storyline, I get. Position of intrigue is a bit dramatic for my taste. Player to watch is simple. That's easy. Now, in a Maroon and White Aggie Football spring context, spring storyline is tricky. For every team that has a quarterback battle, that's always your spring storyline. For every team that does not have a spring storyline, spring tells you nothing and almost there is no storylines. Spring football is about installation for new people and just knocking some rust off for everyone else. I don't believe that spring football is real. You know what they put for A&M, and I thought this was fascinating. Here's the spring storyline for Aggie Football according to ESPN.com. 2 new coordinators. Holman Wiggins, OC, Lyle Hemphill, DC. Now, I find myself fascinated by Holman Wiggins. I wonder what the new offense, because I think after 2 years, Elko will know what he wants more, what he wants less, and what he wants to adjust, and he can do that with Holman Wiggins. So I'm fascinated. I'm ecstatic and excited by Lyle Hemphill because I felt like Hemphill was an extension of Elko anyway. That's where I stand. Straightforward, simple. We can explore it all spring and summer. Position of intrigue is so dramatic. I don't even know what a position of intrigue is. I know what an international man of intrigue is, but I don't know what a position of intrigue is. They said for A&M it's wide receiver, which is so bizarre because just yesterday, I thought wide receiver was A&M's number 1 position of strength. Do you think there's a stronger unit on the team than wide receiver? Because I don't, so I have no intrigue. I got Mario Craver at the top. I got Isaiah Horton at the top. Lou Good. Oh, yeah, I got Ashton Bethel Roman, who broke out. I don't even know. It wasn't quite the last half, but it was more than the last third. So the last 40% of the season, he broke out. I have no intrigue. I think they're the strongest unit on the team is wide receiver next year. So, I get it. That's what they said. America, they have the right. But it's not intrigue for me at all. Because they say, who will break out at wide receiver this season? Craver already broke out. I think Horton's already has his own resume. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not on with that. And player to watch, boring. Marcel Reed. I mean, of course. It's always the quarterback. I mean, quarterback. It's always the quarterback. Quarterback leads the way. It's not very, do we have to explain? Quarterback. And he's returning for his 3rd season as a starter, even if one of them wasn't a full season. I mean, If he makes the leap this year, he should be an All-American. And that's not me exaggerating. If he makes the leap, he should be an All-American. He can make up for what's missing. He can make up for the new O-line. He can make up for X, Y, Z. He should be able to win games by himself, not lose games by himself. That's the leap. That's why you invest this much time into one guy, is for this third year. That's it. He is the player to watch. And we will. So that was the storyline. And I like the spring storyline. The two new coordinators, they're going to have to get used to the installation. They're going to have to get used to the new roles. I don't think it's going to mean much on the defense. It might just mean better for the defense. It's the offensive side where we'll recognize it, but I ponder and think to myself, what will be the new points of emphasis and focus and more of, less of? Because I do think after 2 years now, that was going to happen. So I am fascinated by that, but position of intrigue. Dun, dun, dun. Added intrigue music in the background there. See what I did? When we return, up next on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Logan Lee, let's talk buckyball. The Texas loss, the last 2 weeks, the bracketology of it, and I do want to take your text messages because I know I have my Bucky questions, and so do you. So text Logan starting now. Hey, I didn't say you could come in the studio. I'm sitting here talking, doing my business, and Logan just kind of kicks the door in. 979-693-1150. Text your questions for Logan at 979-693-1150. Light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. I'll be back 3 minutes, 40 seconds. It's the Louie Bellina Show Monday. No, it's not. Louie Bellina Show Tuesday on The Zone.
Your home for Texas A&M baseball is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
It is the Louie Bellina Show on a Tuesday. It is the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Joined now, as we are Tuesdays, right about 11:20, by Logan Lee. He played basketball at A&M and like 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 other schools. And Logan, this was before the portal. Logan just kept popping up, and they're like, hey, give him a jersey. And then he coached at A&M and Kentucky too. How you doing, brother?
Why you say it like that? Hey, just give him a jersey. Like, I just showed up randomly without communication and said, hey, I want to play basketball.
I thought that's how it worked. That's why I said it. I didn't know there was.
I mean, back in the day, that's how you had to hide it. I mean, transferring from Hawaii.
Well, you went to Hawaii, New Mexico State, Del Rio State, McLennan Junior College, South Del Rio State, and then Texas A&M, something like that.
Yes, South Plains, Hawaii, Texas A&M. Yes, that is where I went.
Yeah, at one point, Logan had to get a second closet to fit all the uniforms and the clothes and he had picked up along the way. I mean, all the different stops.
I still have all that stuff.
Do you really?
A couple things from each spot.
Yeah, I would imagine that you have a very interesting trophy, little closet collection.
The Hawaii stuff is cool because it has the islands on it, like the island prints and everything like it.
The Rainbow Warriors.
No, the Warriors. We were not the Rainbow Warriors.
No?
No.
Just the Warriors?
We were the Warriors.
So, okay, now with Hawaii, who was the Wahine and who were the Wahine and all that stuff?
The Wahine are the ladies.
Okay. And the Wahonis are the men?
Sure, let's go with that.
All right, good enough.
That is Lou speak.
Well, I didn't know the process.
Yeah, what'd you say in the Wahones?
The Wahinis and the Wahonis?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how the whole thing's structured.
I think that is abundantly clear to everybody right now.
But yeah. I just, Hawaii rocks, man. They have great fans too.
They did. I don't know. I don't know if they do now.
Not fair enough. Neither do I.
I don't know how their team is.
At one point, they were great. They traveled.
Heck yeah. For volleyball.
For volleyball.
For volleyball.
979-693-1150. If you have a question for Logan Lee, text 979-693-1150. Tough Saturday at Reed, man. Not only did you lose to your rival, but you put your NCAA tournament hopes kind of in jeopardy with that loss too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game that you wanted. It's a game that in quiet, I don't know if you needed it, but it felt like you needed it after the game. I think before going into the game, it was one of those. It's not a must win. After the game, it felt like, dang, we should have won. We needed to win that one. Against Tech, they were just outmanned. Texas has players that can get their own shot, that can create off the dribble. So when everything is jumbled up and out of sorts, you put it in Trayvon Mark's hands and he goes and gets a bucket. You put it in Weaver's hands and he's going to knock down a shot. You put it in the bigs and they make a big play at both ends of the court. But how about has Trayvon Marks hit more buzzer beaters against Texas A&M than anybody in his entire career? I'm talking about deep in the corner, half a second on the shot clock, in front of their bench, 4-3. If he misses that one, I think the game changes. He makes that one and takes all of the momentum and air out of the gym. And
what he did to the crowd was more painful than what he did to the scoreboard.
Absolutely. And man, it's just, I think it's as simple as that, in that Texas has a couple of guys who can go create their own shot when things break down.
But I have a question about that. You say, they're simply put, they're outmanned. Why weren't they outmanned in Austin?
I mean, in Austin, it was just flowing. The Aggies were clicking in Austin. And when A&M is making threes, you don't have to go and find your own bucket. You don't have to have somebody who can create for themselves. They're working as a unit. Right now, A&M has not been successful from the three-point line. They have not made enough threes. And Bucky knows it. Hey, we have to make 11 or 12 threes a game to be in it.
And they made 5.
But that's the thing.
5.
But that's what he says, to be in it. It's not to win it. Yes, that gives you a better percentage of winning. And if you make 12 threes, if A&M makes 12 threes, they're right there in it with probably control of the game. But that doesn't guarantee a win. That still doesn't guarantee a win because the margin of error is so small for Texas A&M right now. But when you don't make your three-point shots, everything is infinitely harder. It's harder for Jakari Lane to get a shot off because he's a small guard trying to make things happen against 6'6", 6'7" guys that are on the perimeter. It's hard for Aggie to get a shot off. It's hard for Ruma Dominguez to even find a shot. And so if A&M can find the range once again, it completely changes them. Right now they're just in a slump, and part of that slump is SEC teams have learned how to play them and learned what to do and force them into situations.
Give me an example.
So the biggest example is just an overall summary. Let's say A&M comes out and makes 3 out of the first 5 threes. That changes the tempo of the game. And if you make 3 out of 5 threes and you're all of a sudden you have 9 points on the board, and let's say the other team only has 4, all of a sudden that other team immediately starts to think, I've got to play fast. We've got to catch up. We can't let this get out of hand, and they want to go. Well, that plays into A&M's style. Let's play fast. Let's play hectic. Let's play chaotic. Let's trap here. Let's get turnovers and loose balls here. Let's get long rebounds and push it out on the break. But if A&M only makes 1 out of the first 7 threes, and they only have 9 points on the board after 8 minutes, the opponent can go in and say, we've got this. This is our style of play now. We don't have to rush. We can slow it down. We can get our shots off. We can play our defense. We can set up. It's all about, and it's not necessarily that first part of the game. It's all about the runs. You saw it at Auburn. Auburn had control of the game for the first 8 minutes. Then A&M goes on a fantastic run, and they're back in the game, and Auburn's already playing again. And then A&M kind of slumped off a little. They missed a handful of shots. Auburn got the momentum back. But as soon as A&M created a couple turnovers, scored a bucket, and then a 3, and then a free throw, and then everything started rolling their way, then they started playing fast again. So it's not necessarily, hey, you have to make your first 3 out of 5 threes. It's you've got to make 3 threes in a row at some point, or 3 out of 5 threes in a row at some span to change the momentum to get you back in your rhythm.
So what happened in the Arkansas game where you cut it to 4 and then you give up 13 straight buckets?
You know what happened to Arkansas, or in the Arkansas game? A-Cuff happened in the Arkansas game. That guy's a pro.
So each of these games, okay, A-Cuff happened and Marks happens. How come every team has one guy happen?
Because every team has had 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 2 years to build their roster. That's how they're playing. They have guys who they sought out. Hey, this is the guy that I want. I'm going to go court him for the next 3 months, 4 months. I'm going to build up my NIL dollars to go get him, whoever it is, and we're going to get him and build around him. Bucky found a great roster in 30 days, but he didn't have the ultimate timeline of, I'm going to have 3 months to go build this team around this NBA player. I mean, we're talking about NBA guys.
But you can't stop one guy?
Not when you have the puzzle pieces around him. Because if you look at Acuff, even though he only had 2 made baskets in the first 30 minutes of the game, he still had 6 assists and 3 steals to go along with a couple of rebounds. And so it's not, he wasn't dominating the game with points, but he was affecting the game in all other facets. And then he took his time, and all of a sudden, Arkansas made 13 field goals in a row in the next 8 minutes and they ballooned the lead. It's going to happen when you have NBA guys. Like, it's almost impossible to stop an NBA type guy like Acuff. Against Florida, they put everybody on him. They hounded him. He had a bad game. Not only was it a combination of Florida's defense and everything that the Gators do, but you double that with Acuff had a bad game, and he still ended up with almost 20 points, I think. I don't know. But those games are few and far between for players like him, and that's what happened in the Arkansas game. A&M did a good job of holding him subpar in scoring, but he still ended up with, I think it was 8 assists on the game. He ended up with a handful of rebounds. He had a big steal at the end of the game. And I say at the end of the game, probably I think there was 4 minutes left, and it was a momentum swing where if A&M would have gotten that backdoor pass, they cut the lead. Instead, he gets a steal. They come down. They knock it down to 3. And all of a sudden, that's a 5-point swing in Arkansas's favor. You got the crowd going, woo, pig suey, and doing all their stuff, and it changes the game. Yeah, that's what I think A&M has run into in the last handful of losses that they've had is they can't stop that one dynamic player. And they don't have a guy.
That was supposed to be M'Baku. Let's be fair. He was your NBA guy.
Absolutely. And I don't want to say that A&M doesn't have the pieces, because if you look at Marcus Hill, what he does well is he attacks the basket and he can change the game. You look at what he did against Texas. Arkansas, he held his own. What was the game before that? Man, I can't remember.
Before which game?
Before Arkansas.
Before Arkansas, a weekend ago. Oh my God, they won that game.
Yeah, he held him down. He was only one basically scoring in the first half, attacking the rim. He had 10 points in the first.
That's when they
whatever
destroyed. Was it Mississippi State?
Maybe, I don't know. Too many games.
Because they're 2-0 week. They beat Ole Miss, and then it wasn't Mississippi State on the week. They beat Ole Miss in the midweek, and then they took care of business against a bad South Carolina.
Lou,
see what you're doing to me?
I don't know, but nonetheless, Marcus Hill does that, and that's his strength. Jakari Lane, I think his strength is really running the team and knocking down big shots. He hasn't hit those big threes, those timely threes that A&M has needed in the last handful of losses, and I think that's because he hasn't gotten the space. Teams are understanding he is a maybe sub 6 foot guard that needs a little extra space. And when you put a 6'4" guy on him that can smother him with his wingspan and with his quickness, it's hard for him to get a shot off. Aggie has done a really good job. We know what he's done. But my point is, they have players with very particular strengths. But if you look at a guy,
say a particular set of skills, I'm happy you went a different way.
But when you look at a guy like Trayvon Marks, he has all those. He can score at the rim. He can score behind the 3-point line. He can create his own shot. He can hit mid-range. He's a big-time shot maker at all 3 levels, and that's what A&M doesn't have. They don't. If Marcus Hill could shoot 40% from the 3-point line, and he's scoring at the bucket the way he is, then you have a guy that we're talking about.
We have to take a timeout.
Yeah.
We'll come back. More for Logan Lee. A couple of text messages rolled in. It's Bucky Ball Talk. That's what Logan Lee does each and every I think that's what he does. Half the time I don't understand what he's saying. It's Logan Lee inside the Charles Schwab studio. It's a Tuesday thing here on the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone.
Be in the know about the Louie Bellina Show.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Follow at LouieB1150. That's at LouieB1150.
Follow us on Twitter.
It is the Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. They do free estimates, and they have military and veteran discounts. That's CC Electric. Logan Lee, Aggie Hoops, we talk. You can text too. And I got one text message for you that says, should Dominguez be playing less minutes to see if they can get more scoring punch from someone else? Or is he doing enough defensively and rebounding to continue to get 20-plus minutes per game?
I think if they had more players, he would get less minutes right now for a couple of reasons. One, to allow him to get his legs back underneath him. He looks a little tired. He looks a little worn. He doesn't need to play this many minutes right now in this style of basketball. And two, to just give his mind a break. Not that he isn't helpful, not that he's not good enough, just that I think he needs a rest. And if
he needs a breather.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mental.
If they had more shooters, I think he would get a break. But they don't have more shooters, and they've got to utilize what they have, and hopefully they can work on his confidence, and they can work on his rhythm and his routine, and he can knock down a couple of shots. He's just got to see the ball go through the hoop. That's what he has to see.
Yeah, we have. He's made some shots, and he hasn't caught fire. There was one game,
though.
and it was the Ole Miss. Him and Zach Clements led that rally back, where he ended up with 9 points, with the bulk of it being in the final 5-ish minutes. He's hit some shots. It's more than that. I think at this. I think at this point.
I don't know. I think he needs. I think he needs a break. I think he needs a rest mentally and,
that's more than making
physically.
A shot for me.
But I do. I bet if he hits his first 2 shots against Kentucky, it changes the game for him.
At this point, it's not even. We have reached that point in the year.
I think it changes the game for the entire team, though. If the team sees his shots go in, I think it changes the game for everybody. It's not just him. I think
can be on board with
it's
that.
for the coaching staff. It's for the players. It's for everybody. Okay, he's making shots, and then all of a sudden, Jakari doesn't feel as much pressure to make a 3-point shot because he knows, hey, Ruben made a couple. I've got a little extra room. I think it changes the game for everybody, but we're waiting to see it.
At this point, it's not about anything you did in the past. It's not about the 7-1 start. It's not about losing 6 of 8. You have 2 games left, plus SEC tournament. Lenardi said you need 2 wins. This morning, bracketology, when we all woke up, A&M was the last team on the last 4 byes.
Okay.
An 11 seed.
Okay.
They have Kentucky tonight, 6 o'clock at Reed Arena. Do you think A&M can find 2 wins?
Absolutely. And whether that is Kentucky LSU, whether that is LSU first round of SEC conference tournament. Yes, they have 2 more wins in them. If it is a win against Kentucky, I think they're in.
No, I think they need 2. I don't think Kentucky counts as 2 wins.
Only because I think they win the first round of SEC play.
Gotcha.
That's why. Because and I think if they beat Kentucky, they're going to beat LSU, and then they're going to win the first round of SEC play. That's 3 wins, and they'll be solidly in March Madness. They lose to Kentucky, I think they go and beat LSU in Baton Rouge, and then they win the first round of the conference tournament, and they're in. I think they're in at that point. My question is, they lose Kentucky, beat LSU, and flub in the tournament.
Out.
You think so?
2 wins. I'm not fudging.
I don't know.
1 win will not get them in.
I think at that point, it is who else on the bubble loses. Because look at the teams on the bubble.
Which the bubble team is.
They're not
awful. Okay,
no,
ready?
No, you said they're not awful.
No, they are awful. Okay, like Saturday when A&M lost, if I remember this 100% right, of the 8 bubble right side, last 4 buys, last 4 in, 5 lost, including A&M, maybe 6 of 8 lost.
No.
So A&M was reprieved on the bubble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here you go. Ready? Last 4 buys in order. SMU,
Okay.
TCU, UCLA, UCLA to U. A&M is the 4th on the line. That's your last 4 buys. Now, the last 4 in, death row. Santa Clara, Ohio State, New Mexico, Indiana.
Santa Clara, Ohio State, New
Mexico, Indiana. That's your bubbly
Bums.
right side.
Bums.
That's who A&M. That's if you're an Aggie fan, you're watching Aggie basketball tonight and Saturday, and you're looking for them every morning on your phone. That's who you're with.
Who are the first 4 out?
Auburn's the first team out.
That's gonna be tough because I think Auburn will.
You beat them.
I know, but I think Auburn. Man, I got to look who they play.
Okay, I can help you with this.
Can you?
Not well.
How quickly?
Give me a couple hours.
No, okay, there you go.
You know, let's see. Auburn. How do you spell Auburn?
I think Auburn has. I don't know. For some reason I think they have a talented basketball team. Stephen Pearl is just Stephen Pearl, and he's not Bruce. And
wow, calling a kid out in his first year like that.
I mean, that wasn't harsh.
Felt harsh.
It's just reality.
They finish with LSU tonight and Alabama on the weekend. So 1 in 1 week should be.
And then they'll play
in the SEC tournament.
See, but the tournament, I think Auburn's a scary team in the tournament.
Because their style or?
Just because they are athletic. They can score. They can get up and down. There's just something about conference tournaments where it doesn't matter unless you were 0 or only have 1 or 2 wins in conference. You're a threat because I think everybody in the SEC has the capability to win.
Here's a question from the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox.
I don't like that smile that you.
Do you think any number 1 seed would want to face the Aggies if they were in the 8-9 seed? I think all 4 would.
Why?
What would you fear?
Look,
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
If you're a number 1 seed, I mean, obviously you're going to say, hey, that 8 or 9 is better than this 8 or 9. But as a number 1 seed, I don't necessarily think you fear anybody. You just go in there and play basketball the way
How
you're
is
supposed to
A&M going to move
play.
from the 11 to the 8-9 with the games remaining?
I think that was just a hypothetical question.
But why ask a hypothetical that has that like sub 1% chance?
Because I understand what they were saying. They were saying this team can get hot and can be a threat. It's like
they're 2-6 in their last 8 for the last 2 months.
Look,
now I want to be fair.
I get
they were hot
Lou.
against Alabama, but missed 2 threes late. I don't even know what to call what they were against Missouri because they should have won if they make layups. They didn't. And right now,
and Tennessee,
with them needing 2 wins, well, Tennessee was during a different period where they played well. They could have won it in the first overtime. They could have won it in regulation.
Yeah.
Faded down the stretch. But that Missouri game, now that you need 2 wins, and you know we're searching for these 2 wins, that Missouri game is haunting me because they should have won it. There's probably 5 other things that you could add, Logan, on how they could have won it. So just make your layup.
So do you think if they beat SMU in non-con, do you think that they only need 1 win at this point?
That's a trickier one.
Because SMU is on the bubble.
I'd have to look at SMU's net, and that was at SMU, or was it neutral because the value, right?
Yeah, it was neutral, I think.
You take away a home loss. Home loss is hurt with Missouri. Add that because now Missouri's kind of taken off a bit, right? If you just needed 2 wins, that Missouri game is haunting to me with their situation right now.
I mean, we can play what ifs the whole time. Alabama,
it's a sports talk show. It's what we do.
You win at Alabama, and I think you're in at this point.
Alabama's now won 8 straight, I think.
You win.
And Florida's won 9 straight.
At Tennessee, and they probably still need 1 game just because it was earlier in the conference play. But I mean, all these games, when we say if you win, it's because they had a chance to win. Like it's not one of those. Yeah, but they had to get a steal and then make a three and then get another steal and make. No,
that's why I keep going back to Missouri though, because all I'm saying is you make layups. I'm not talking about if they'd have gotten 3 steals and then 4 threes and a dog would have barked outside. No, I'm just saying all they had to do is make their layups.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But it is what it is, and now they got to win 2 games.
Then what is it? You say it is. What is it?
LSU. I mean, if they win Kentucky and LSU, they're in. It still bugs me though. If they win Kentucky and LSU and then lose in the first round of SEC play,
you're gonna feel scared.
I will be. You're gonna
scared.
be scared. I'll be scared right now. Like I will be scared because you'll be losing to a lesser team,
an out team potentially,
probably
an out team,
probably, and then
quad 3 maybe. We'll see. No,
I don't think so.
Because LSU is like 70. I didn't check the net this morning,
but LSU,
which road 70 is not bad because it's different than home
that's
or
like
neutral.
A high quad 2, maybe a low quad 1. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be right there.
You beat them and it will be good, even though they're like 3 and something easy play. Oh, just win right now. That's
just
it.
Win.
Just win. We're going Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win.
Just win.
Logan, what are the Aggies going to do with this final answer this week? What are the Aggies going to do this week? 1-1 and make us have to watch the SEC tournament when they're going to play at like 1 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon?
No, man. These boys are going 2-0.
Stop it.
They're going to win tonight.
Okay.
Mark Pope is too busy crying about how the refs cheated him, and they're focused on that. And
Logan just got mean.
A&M is focused on winning, and that's what's going to happen.
Thank you.
That's what we're going to do to him, Mags.
This is why we pay you for these expert predictions. Thank you, Logan. Be awesome, brother.
See you, Lou.
You're awesome, man. When we return, I got to wrap up our first hour together here on the Louie Bellina Show. Because they're going to win. They're going to win because they're going to win. I think I just clicked in my head what you said.
No.
You just said they're going to win because they're going to win.
No.
Then what did you say?
I don't remember.
That's it. You said they're going to win.
No, I didn't say they're going to win because they're going to win. They've been preparing to win. They've got their mind right. Bucky's got them right. I believe in Bucky Ball. It's going to happen. They need one.
It's the Louie Bellina.
It's going to happen. And everybody that doesn't believe me, show up at the Reed Arena at 6 o'clock tonight.
On the Zone.
Visit the Pod Center at zone1150.com and find every hour of every day of your favorite shows. Download or subscribe.
So we'll wrap up our first hour together here on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Breaking news. Who remembers Jerkson Profar? He was a prospect for like a decade for the Texas Rangers. And then he came up and he was a hot prospect for them, San Diego Padres. I did not even know that he was still in baseball. I think he's been around. This will be his 29th season. And he's with the Atlanta Braves, if you didn't know. But Jerkson Profar, breaking news, has been suspended for the 2026 season. 162 game suspension. Why? He tested positive for PEDs. It's his second positive test. Multiple reports of this have come out now. Your first is 80, basically the half a season. And, well, this is his second. So Jerkson Profar has been suspended for the 2026 season, the entire season. He tested positive for PEDs, and it's his second. So, yeah. Spring training news, Atlanta Braves news. And again, I know a lot of Texas Ranger fans remember him. He was part of that time when the Texas Rangers had this plethora of middle infielders, an embarrassment of riches, and they never did anything with it. Michael Young was the GM, correct? And they just sat on it. Either they were asking too much in return for trade, but they mismanaged that middle infield situation they had. And just, they could have maybe won a World Series earlier or built more of a dynasty kind of mode by making a move, and they never did anything with it till injuries, obviousness, and the values were too low. That's how I remember how that played out. I can ask Rusty Burson. He would know. He's Mr. Texas Ranger. But they had like 4, even 5, and never made a move with it. Still to come here on the Louie Bellina Show, Tuesday edition. Multiple chances to be a finalist to win tickets to see Creed, thanks to Grahalski Sausage. 12:35, a listen in. Bucky McMillan, Kentucky Media Day. Olin Buchanan, 1 o'clock inside the Charles Schwab Studio. Community Spotlight at 1:50. All still to come.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country, and Aggie Land is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Polaris Fun Center, where you can get a $500 rebate on any 450 or 570 Model A TV, or $2,000 cash back on a Polaris XP1000. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC, and you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on the Zone.